If you are 11 days into no contact with an avoidant, you are not losing your mind. You are withdrawing from a drug. I want you to hear that twice. You are not broken. You are coming off a chemical the brain treats like oxygen. Dopamine circuits, cortisol peaks, the small ping of a text at 2:14 in the afternoon. That was your fix. 3 weeks in, the body is still reaching for the spoon that's no longer there. That's not weakness. That's biology telling you the truth. And I want to tell you what actually happens in the first 30 days. Not the TikTok version, not the stay strong, queen version, not the version where a stranger on the internet heals you in 8 minutes. The real version. The version that hurts. The version that builds. 'Cause here's what I know after working with 5 million people and listening to thousands of them try to get over someone who would not show up. A breakup with an avoidant is not like a normal breakup. It's a different animal. A normal breakup, somebody yells, somebody cries, somebody slams a door. The grief is loud. It moves through you in waves you can see from the outside. You stumble, you heal, you go forward. But a breakup with an avoidant, that one is silent. They are gone physically, but they are still alive. You see their car in the parking lot. You see their name in your phone. You see the little green dot, meaning they are on the other end of an app. They are 40 feet away and 3,000 miles away at the same time. You are grieving someone who is still breathing. That is its own kind of hell. And the first 30 days are not about getting over them. They are about getting back to you. Listen, I am going to say something I have said about 10,000 times in my life, and I am going to say it to you now. Pay attention to it. Don't nod. Write it down. You don't experience life. You experience the life you focus on. There are a million things happening right now where you are sitting. The hum of an air conditioner. A car 3 streets down. Your own breathing. The light on the back of your hand. Your heart beating, 62 times a minute. You don't experience all of it. You experience the slice of it your brain chooses to give you. What you focus on, you feel. What you feel, you live. Now let me be honest with you. For the last 30 days, your focus has been one of 2 places. Either on what they are doing, are they with someone, are they over you, did they see your status, did they unmatch, did they re-add, or on what you lost, the plans, the future, the version of you that existed inside that relationship. Both are prisons. Both of them are taking up the same square inch of your skull and turning it into a nightclub with the music too loud. You want to know why the first 30 days feel like 30 years? Because in those 30 days, the brain files approximately 9,000 rumination requests. I'm not making that up. A clinical psychology paper measured the average person under romantic distress generates between 2,000 and 3,000 obsessive thoughts per day. Across a month, that's a forest fire of micro-letters, phantom conversations, mental movies of them with someone you don't even know yet. And every one of those thoughts feels like a real moment of contact. It isn't. It is your nervous system throwing a tantrum. But here's the thing. The thoughts are not the problem. The thoughts are the smoke. The problem is that you have been treating the smoke like oxygen. You breathe it in, you build a home in it, you wake up inside it, you go to sleep inside it, and then you wonder why you feel like you can't breathe. So what is actually happening in the first 30 days of no contact with an avoidant? 3 things. They are biology, identity, and direction. And I will walk you through all 3. But first, I have to give you the spine. Because if you miss the spine, you'll miss everything I am about to say. There's 3 decisions you make every moment of your life. Not 3 categories, 3 decisions. Specific, mechanical, yours, the decision, what to focus on. The second decision. What does this mean? The third decision. What am I going to do? That's it. That's the operating system of a human being. Every thought you've ever had is one of these 3 in some form. Every action you take was preceded by these 3 in some order. Every regret you've ever felt came because one of them went wrong. Now, when the relationship ended with the avoidant, or when they pulled back into themselves the way avoidants do, none of those 3 decisions stopped. They just got hijacked. You didn't choose what to focus on. The absence chose for you. You didn't choose what it meant. The story chose for you. You didn't pick what you'd do. The anxiety picked for you. That is what I am going to walk you back through. Decision by decision, moment by moment. And what you'll see, and this is the part that lands, is that all 3 of those decisions were always yours. They never left. They were dormant under the noise. So let's take them one at a time. The first decision, focus. Your focus for the last 30 days has been a dog off its leash. It has run after the car that left. It has run into the street. It has tried to bite strangers. It has come home smelling of smoke. And all you did was stand at the front door with an empty leash in your hand. That stops now. Because here's the truth. Focus is the master key. Focus is the lens. Focus is the lever that moves your entire life. And it is non-negotiable. You do not have a single experience right now that is not the result of where you have put your attention. If you focus on them, the absence, the should have, the what are they doing, the absence becomes your weather. If you focus on you, what you want, what you're building, what your next right move is, the absence becomes background. Both worlds exist right now. Both are real. Only one of them is feeding you. You want to know which? It's the one you keep feeding, the second decision. Meaning. This is where the brain does its dirtiest work. The avoidant didn't text you back. What does that mean? In 1 minute, your brain generates 12 possible answers. They don't love you. They never did. They are with someone. They're relieved. They don't respect you. They are punishing you. They are heartbroken. They are protecting themselves from their own collapse. 12 in a minute. And then your brain, your very talented, very stupid brain, picks the worst one. The one that hurts the most. The one that keeps the cycle spinning. And it tells you that one is the truth. It's not the truth. It's the meaning maker. The part of your brain that wants to keep you alive by keeping you afraid. Listen to me. The meaning is not in the silence. The meaning is in you. The silence is just silence. The phone going quiet is not a verdict. It's a quiet phone. You're the one turning it into a verdict. We do this all the time. We do it with money, with health, with business. Something happens, something neutral, something that on its own means nothing, and our brain manufactures a catastrophe around it. The boss doesn't email back. The investor passes. The friend doesn't call. We turn a Tuesday into a tomb. It's not ability, it's motive. It's not what's happening, it's the motive of the meaning maker. Once you see this, once you realize the meaning is yours to make, you stop being a victim of someone else's silence. You become an author of your own story. And this is where most people miss. You will not, in the early days, make meaning that feels good. You will make meaning that feels safe, familiar, distorted, the kind of meaning that lets you stay stuck without feeling stuck. You have to choose better meaning, not kinder meaning, better meaning. The third decision, action. By day 30, most people are running one of 3 action patterns. They check the phone. They tell the story. They cave. I want to walk through each. Checking the phone, looking at their social, opening the chat, refreshing the read receipt. That is the brain asking the same question over and over and over again, because the answer is never what it needs. The brain doesn't want information. The brain wants relief. And only one piece of information will ever feel like relief. They came back. If they come back, you feel relief for a moment, and then you feel the same emptiness. If they don't come back, you feel despair. Either way, you lose. It's like trying to outrun the propeller on a Spitfire. The thing you're running from is the thing spinning around you. There is no edge to escape to, because you are already inside of it. Telling the story, calling your best friend 11 times in 2 weeks, replaying the same breakup arc, hunting for the moment you could blame, the moment you could have caught it, the moment it all went wrong. That is your brain trying to retroactively win a game that was already over. The story is not going to change. The listener is not going to say the magic words. The early bedtime is not going to bring them back. Stop rehearsing the trial. Now, some people, when I say that, they think I am throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and I am not. I am not saying love was bad. I am not saying you should not have loved them. I am saying, if the love was real, you do not have to keep rehearsing it in your head to prove it counted. Caving, sending the text, the email, the hi, the hey, the long thing where you tell them what you meant, what you really felt, what you actually said, that is the opposite of healing. That is the compulsion. That is the limbic system overruling the prefrontal cortex. That is your body grabbing the wheel because your mind got out of the car. And I need to say something here that I don't say gently. If you have already sent a text you regret, you are not a bad person. You are not weak. You are not broken beyond repair. You are one of millions of us. The first 30, even the first 60 days of this are not a test you pass. They are a minefield you walk through, and the field is full of feet. Now let me say something I rarely say. Let me say it to the part of you that may be quietly believing, even now, that if you love them harder, write the perfect text, prove your worth, they will come back. It won't happen, and it shouldn't. Here's what I believe. An avoidant who has stepped back from you has given you two gifts. They don't know they're gifts. They may never become gifts, but they are gifts. The first gift is they took themselves out of your story. The story you were telling yourself about who you were without them, about what your life was supposed to look like, about how love was supposed to work. They broke that story. It needed to break. The second gift is they made the room. Before you met them, you had a room inside you. It had your own pace, your own voice, your own weather. Somewhere along the way, you moved out of that room and started living in theirs. Now they're gone. The room is empty. It doesn't feel empty. It feels infected. But it's empty. And for the first time in a long time, you can move back in. Now, I want to slow down a little, because this next part is dense. I want you to read this twice. If you have to stand to read it, stand. Because here's what I know. There's a part of this you have not been willing to look at. It's the part before them. You ever wonder why some breakups feel like they are physically peeling a layer of skin off you? Why this one in particular? Why not the one before, or the one before that, or even the perfectly normal kind of wrong that hurt in a polite way 3 years ago? It's because when an avoidant enters your life, particularly one with a dismissive flavor, they tend to walk in through a specific childhood-shaped door. They walk in through the door of, I am easy to leave. Some of you have had that door open since you were small. Some of you opened it yourself because somebody you loved could not stay. A parent who worked all the time, a parent who drank, a parent who got sick, a parent who was present but absent, a sibling who left, a friend group that swapped you out at 13, a teacher who didn't see you. You learned very young that love was something that came and went. And so when somebody shows up who proves it again, someone who comes close, who gets intense, who pulls back, who comes close, who pulls back, your brain doesn't see a new problem. It sees a familiar friend. They are leaving me doesn't feel like new pain to you. It feels like a memory. It feels like you are finally getting the proof of what you suspected all along. And that is the spiral. Because inside that door, you have spent years constructing a strategy. The strategy was, don't need too much, don't ask too much, don't show too much. Be a little smaller than you are, smile a little brighter than you feel, ask for less, accept faster, then maybe, just maybe, they stay. That strategy, and I need you to hear me, saved you when you were a kid. It was the right move at 8. It is the wrong move at 32. Here is what I want you to hold in your head at the same time. I want you to hold two thoughts in superposition, like a physicist holding a particle in two places at once. I want you to hold them both for 30 seconds without collapsing one. The little version of you, the one who built the strategy, that version of you did the best they could with what they had. They didn't have the language. They didn't have the tools. They didn't have Tony Robbins on YouTube at 2 in the morning, God bless them. They had an instinct, and the instinct said smaller, the instinct said nicer, the instinct said don't. That little version, I want you to thank them, out loud. Now, same moment, same breath, I want you to tell that little version the truth. You grew up. You are not 8 anymore. You are not in the kitchen where that parent poured the second drink. You are not in the bedroom where that friend stopped texting. You are not in the hallway of that school where nobody picked you for the team. You are here. You are an adult. You have a spine. You have hands. You have a body that breathes without permission from anyone. That little version is not running this. You are. And here's what gets to happen now. The fact that you were alone as a child means as an adult, you are self-sufficient. The fact that nobody supported you means you have no fear of working on your own. The fact that nobody taught you means you learned to teach yourself. The fact that somebody left means you learned early that nobody is going to save you, which means you also learned you didn't need to be saved. That handbook of survival you wrote as a kid, it wasn't a curse, it was a curriculum. You've already graduated. You're just carrying the backpack. Take it off. Now, with that settled, with the spine and the childhood door settled, the question changes. The question is no longer how do I get them back? The question becomes who do I become in the silence? And that question is the focus of the next 30 days. So what actually happens day by day if you walk this cleanly? Week 1, the body protests. Sleep doesn't come easy. Your chest feels like a stone is sitting on it. You dream about conversations that never happened. You wake up at 3:14 in the morning and reach for your phone and catch yourself. The withdrawal is doing what withdrawal does. Week 2, the story tries to rewrite itself. Your brain, desperate for closure, will offer you fake endings. The text they meant to send. The apology they almost typed. The screenshot of the conversation where they said it. Don't believe any of them. They are fantasies of closure. They are not closure. Week 3. The grief gets weird. You might cry in a supermarket. You might laugh at something a stranger says and feel bad for laughing. You might find yourself buying the exact cereal they used to buy. This is the body catching up to the brain. It's not regression. It's the installments of loss arriving on time. Week 4. You start hearing yourself think again. You start having opinions about food, weather, music, work that don't pass through them. You start noticing babies, birds, weather, your own hands. The world is the same world. The part of you that captures it is new. Now, the drill. I'm going to give you one. I am going to be specific. I am going to be honest about the time it takes. I am going to tell you the why. I am going to tell you the meaning underneath the action. It will take you 90 seconds. You will do it tonight, one time, tomorrow morning, one time, the day after, one time, for at least 21 days. This is non-negotiable. If you can't do this, none of what I just said will help you. Here's the drill. Sit on the floor, not a chair, the floor. Sit cross-legged, back unsupported, hands resting on your knees. Close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Out through your mouth for 6. Do that for 90 seconds while mentally repeating one phrase. Not them, me. That's it. Not longer, not harder. 90 seconds. Twice a day, 21 days. Now the why. The why is in 3 pieces. The first piece, 90 seconds, is roughly the length of time it takes the autonomic nervous system to shift out of fight or flight. There is clinical research on this. Controlled breathing at that ratio, performed regularly, down-regulates the stress response of someone in romantic grief. You are literally teaching your body that the drug is gone and the building isn't on fire. The second piece, the floor. You are below the furniture. You are below the things that adults sit on. You are putting your body in the same posture as a small kid sitting on the floor, waiting for somebody to come home. The posture alone opens a part of your nervous system you have been clenching shut for months. You haven't been letting yourself be sad. This lets you be sad, on purpose. Briefly. The third piece. Not them, me. You are doing a meaning override. You are reorienting your focus 45 times a minute. You are starving the old thought loop. You are feeding the new one. Every breath is a vote for which version of you runs tomorrow. Now, the meaning behind the drill, this is where most people lose the will, because if you only do surface work, it doesn't last. The drill works because it carries meaning. What is the drill beyond 90 seconds of breathing? It is you telling yourself in your own body, in your own voice, in your own breath, that the era of waiting is over. It is the first 3 minutes of the rest of your life. The drill is a declaration. Not them, me, now. The principle behind the drill. Let me give you the principle. There's a force in human life stronger than any other. Not money, not willpower, not habit, not talent. Meaning. Find something you care about more than yourself, and you will never need willpower again. I want to say that again. Find something you care about more than yourself, and you will never be small again. Most people think they are stuck because they lack discipline. They don't. They lack meaning. They are trying to grind through something, a job, a breakup, a body, a friendship, without a reason strong enough to make the grinding feel like climbing. You ever wonder why some people recover from breakups in 6 weeks and other people take 6 years? It's not resilience, it's not love, it's meaning. The person who walked out of a 6-year relationship in 8 weeks was the person who already had something else they were building. A project, a kid, a mission, a body, a craft. They had a why bigger than their wound. The person still parked outside an empty apartment 6 years later. That person is not weaker. They are waiting. And they are waiting because the meaning they tied to that person didn't transfer anywhere else. So here's what I am asking you to do, slowly, on purpose. Find something you can give yourself to. Not the avoidant, not the revenge arc, not the perfect text that will make them cry and come back, not the social media version of healed, something real, a craft, a child, a body, a class, a book, a cause, a business, a garden, a language, anything bigger than your wound, anything that ripples past your bedroom. You add that to the drill, you add that to the spine, you add that to the 3 decisions, and something different starts happening, slowly, invisibly, like a bone mending where you can't see it. The first 30 days become transit, not prison. The silence becomes soil, not absence. If you have been watching reels and reading tweets and texting your sister and crying into a dog's body and asking every astrology app whether they still love you, and that's all you've done for 30 days, you are not a failure. You are just early. But the early phase has an expiration date. At some point, and you will feel it coming, early becomes a posture. Then a posture becomes an identity. Then an identity becomes a tomb. You don't want to live in that tomb. I have watched millions of people stay inside a tomb because leaving felt like losing. It's not losing. It's unlodging. It's letting go of the small boat you are clinging to in the middle of the ocean. Because there is a ship 10 feet below the surface you can't see. Because you are too busy holding the boat. The ship is you. The boat is the story of them. Let the boat go. Let me say the thesis one more time, slower, in different words. You will not heal this by being stronger. You will not heal this by being smarter. You will not heal this by writing a more perfect final text. You will not heal this by understanding their attachment style so well that you can edit yourself out of your own pain. You will heal this by changing the meaning. You will heal this by giving your focus a new home. You will heal this by doing 190-second drill twice a day for 21 days and meaning it. You will heal this by finding something to give yourself to that is bigger than this wound. You will heal this by remembering that the handbook of survival you wrote as a child is now a handbook of strength. You will heal this by walking back into that empty room in your own chest and saying, I live here again. That's it. That's the path. It's not magic. It's not pretty. It's not instant. It's mechanical. It's honest. It's yours. And I have worked with 5 million people, and I want to tell you, the ones who came out the other side were not the most loved, not the most beautiful, not the smart, not the loudest about it. They were the ones who refused to make the silence their permanent address. So, one sentence to land on. You don't experience this. You experience the version of this you focus on. You don't experience the silence. You experience the silence you are willing to give meaning to. You don't experience the absence. You experience the absence as a grave or as a garden, and you get to choose which. You owe it to you, not to them, to you. To become the version of yourself that already lives 10 feet below the surface of the person you have been pretending to be for the last 30 days. That version is not smaller. Smaller is what the strategy did to keep you safe. That version is real and whole and unfinished and worth every slow, ugly, brave morning you have left. Figure it out. This is your hero's journey. And the journey doesn't end when you're dead. It continues in the lives you change, including and especially your own.